Who is the best protagonist in Beyblade? Because depending on who you ask, you'll hear different answers. Some people say raw talent matters the most, others say power, some say potential. But if you actually break it down properly, there's one character who stands above the rest, and yeah, it's Valt Aoi. Before we even talk about Valt, we need to define something. What actually makes a great protagonist in Beyblade? It's not just strength, it's growth, consistency, skill, mentality, and the impact on the story. And when you judge every main character using those categories, Valt starts separating himself immediately from the rest. When we first see Valt in Beyblade Burst, he's not very special, he's not dominating, he's not feared. He's just a kid who loves Beyblade, and he loses a lot. But that's exactly why his journey works so well, because every improvement he makes feels earned. You see the mistakes, and you see his frustration, and you see him slowly fix those weaknesses. In the early stages of Beyblade Burst, you constantly see Valt Aoi struggling. For example, in his early episodes, like around episode 1 to 10, he's losing to stronger bladers and even making basic mistakes with lock control and launching. That's important, because he's not starting from the top, he's building from nothing. Valt's losses are one of the biggest reasons he's such a strong protagonist. Most characters lose once, then suddenly become unstoppable. Valt doesn't. He learns repeatedly, and more importantly, he improves his launch, he studies his opponents, and he adapts. So when he finally starts winning, it actually makes sense. Then when you get into the middle of the series, around episode 20 to 30, you start to see real improvement. Valt begins to understand strategy, timing, and control. He's not just attacking anymore, he's thinking. And that shift from raw enthusiasm to actual skill what makes his progression feel so real. Now, here's where Valt really separates himself. I forgot the word. Longevity. I forgot the word, but I know what the word means. Across multiple seasons, he continues to grow. In Beyblade Burst, he's learning the basics. Later, he's competing at world-class level, and the key thing is he doesn't skip steps. Every level he reaches, he feels like a natural result of everything before it. Let's actually break down Valt as a blader. His technique, his launches become more refined over time and more controlled. Now here we go into adaptability. He reads opponents mid-battle and adjusts. And in control, he learns how to manage his base instead of just attacking. And with his experience, he's got huge experience. He's faced a huge range of opponents and styles. This isn't just a strong blader, this is a complete blader. Now I'll compare that to other main characters. Aiger Akabane has insane growth, but it's so extremely fast, sometimes unrealistically so. Dante Koryu, I can't pronounce his last name, is balanced, but doesn't have the same level of his experience as the rest. Hyuga Hisashi is powerful, very powerful, but relies heavily on aggression. They're all strong, but none of them combine everything the way Valt does. One of the biggest turning points later in Beyblade Burst around episode 40 and onwards. This is where Valt starts going up against top tier bladers and actually holding his own. And the key thing is, it doesn't feel random, it feels like the result of everything he's been building up to do. Valt's mentality is another huge factor in this. He doesn't give up, and he doesn't crumble under pressure, and he genuinely enjoys battling. That mindset allows him to stay focused, keep improving, and bounce back from losses. It's not just skill, it's how he approaches the game. One other thing people don't talk about enough is Valt's wins feel very different, because you understand them. You've seen the training, and we've seen the losses, and you've seen the improvement. So when he wins, it feels deserved, not forced, not rushed, and not random either. By the time we reach Beyblade Burst Evolution, Valt isn't just improving, he's competing globally. He's facing elite bladers, adapting to new styles, and continues to grow even at that level. That shows something really important. He doesn't just get strong runs, he stays strong. And even beyond that, Valt continues to appeal later in this series, still performing at high level. That consistency across multiple arcs is something most protagonists don't actually have. They peak once. Valt evolves continuously. So when you look at everything, growth, skill, consistency, mentality, Valt Aoi isn't just a great protagonist, he's the most complete one. But now I want to hear your opinion. Is Valt really the best protagonist, or does someone else take that spot? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more Beyblade breakdowns like this, subscribe.